get the show on the road. Hi, welcome, Iceland.
Hello, I'm gonna be making dinner, so I'm just gonna listen
Awesome.
in.
No problem with that. I see Marina's having dinner, and Melissa looks like she's at arts and crafts, maybe, or is she cooking? Yeah. What are we making?
I'm in my art room and I do electroforming, and I'm just preparing specimens for my next batch of electroforming.
What is electroforming, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it's a process where you take you use electricity. It's kind of like plating. It's like copper plating, but I'm forming metal around objects and creating different objects out of copper. So like right now I'm about to do a batch of bark, tree bark. I'm going to form copper around it. And I'm probably going to add some stuff like some stones. Here's a, oh, come here. I don't know if that can be seen, but that's what it'll kind of look like when it's done. It'll have copper all over it. And then I'll put a patina on it. So
cool. This is your thing.
It's like science and art at the same time.
I love that. I see science and art in a lot of things, both including fitness at the gym, nutrition. So I totally get you with that. John, you're in the kitchen. What you making?
Some like Japanese bowls.
Japanese bowls.
Like so it's like kind of like instead of a Mexican bowl, it's like a Japanese inspired or more like Korean inspired bowl.
Sweet.
So instead of using rice, we use cauliflower rice, and
that sounds delicious, man.
Yeah, and so instead of like spicy, taco seasoning, it's more like soy sauce and such.
Gotcha. Well, I think we get this kicked off, and I think John gave us the perfect way to start. So I want to start us off by talking. So if you're on the mic or around the mic, I'm gonna kind of call us out one by one. But John, you just mentioned spice, so I'm gonna start off. Would you rather with? Would you rather for the rest of your life only have really, really spicy food, like too spicy food, or incredibly bland food, like no taste at all?
Spicy.
Like so spicy that you'd have to take a pause in between each bite?
Well, I'd rather there be taste than it be super bland. So yeah.
Gotcha. Can you handle higher spice?
Yeah, I enjoy spicy food.
That's good. I'm from South Louisiana, so we over red pepper just about everything. Yeah. And I think like Michelle always jokes with me that there's such thing as like mom hands, where you can like handle hot like plates and stuff all the time. Well, I think Cajuns, we've like kind of developed our tongues for the extra spice. Anyone else have a over spice or incredibly bland opinion? I see Iceland shaking her head for something.
Over spice for sure.
I think spice is the way to go.
With overly spicy stuff, you don't eat it as fast.
That's true. That is very true. That's not even the fat loss hack I would think of, but that's so true. Marina?
I actually would take the bland. My boyfriend and I went out for Thai food, and in Northwest Oklahoma, where I am now, when we order Chinese or Asian or Japanese, they want a level like 1 to 10. So I always order 5, being the middle. So I ordered Thai food in Oklahoma City a couple weeks ago, and so they asked me how spicy I wanted, and I said level 5, and then I literally could not eat. I'm pretty sure she was like, this person's dumb. Let me dump everything in there. Like I literally would eat a bite and drink like 3 glasses of water. Man. So I'll go with bland just because of that.
I've always heard that like drinking milk is the best, but like there's only so much milk that you can, and it only helps for like 5-10 seconds, and then your mouth burns again. Hey Patrick, hey Dakota. We are just starting off the night with a little would you rather. I see. Are we in the studio, Patrick?
Yeah, but I didn't put it on the high camera, the good camera. That's I put on the low tech one. It was actually a hard choice. I was out going for a walk,
Uh-huh.
and like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, oh crap, there's a Zoom, a healthy Zoom or a healthy walk. Which one do I do? And so
So we came
see
in for the Zoom.
yeah, now I see Stephanie's dog is on the Zoom. I know it's
Yeah,
all
she showed Max a little bit ago.
sweet.
I'm sure she'll come back and show Max again. I got her on the mic. So this one's gonna be for Stephanie and Patrick. Do you guys enjoy chicken? Do both of you eat chicken? Let's start with that. Patrick.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you both eat salad?
Yes, already had one today.
Okay, so the great debate. It's not really a great debate, but chicken on salad. Would you rather be hot or would you rather be cold?
Probably warm, hot-ish.
Hot-ish.
Hot-ish,
Definitely.
not hot, but just warm. But to tell you the truth, I'd rather have salmon, which is what I'm snacking on right now.
That's good. Smoked salmon.
Yep.
What's up, Dakota?
Just got done with that 2K row and I'm not very happy about it.
Uh-oh. Was it too spicy? We were talking about spice just now.
Yeah, it was spicy. And also, cold chicken on salads is absolutely disgusting. It's revolting. I've had a food grudge since I was 11. Can't do wraps or
the
shredded
culinary
lettuce,
world
cold
would
chicken.
disagree with you. The culinary world says like cold chicken breast on salad, but I'm with you. Like I'd rather the warm. I kind of like the whole like the contrast of hot and cold, because oftentimes like certainly do not make your greens warm. Like that is kind of gross if you ask me. But like, so here's another concept, and we'll definitely probably get into this later, but processed foods, engineered foods, a lot of times what they're going for is the right mixture of like all of the different variables, whether that's temperature, texture, smell. And so just like with that in mind, you can actually kind of, if you want to, engineer your own home cooked meals. So for instance, I like warm chicken on cold salad because it just gives you that contrast. Now, obviously you can go way off the chart with this, like, but yeah, salty food, fatty foods, like they mix for a certain reason. Let's go with another would you rather. I asked this one last week to one of the kids on the call, and I think this is a better question to ask adults because it can get pretty crazy, but anyone can answer. If you only had one mode of transportation, would you rather it be to ride on a giraffe or would you rather it to be ride on a donkey? For the rest of your life, ride a giraffe or ride a donkey?
Definitely a giraffe.
Donkey is more practical.
Which one?
think it's
Who said practical?
Donkey.
Donkey? And Ben, why giraffe? Crickets.
I feel like the extended reach could come in handy. I don't know. And everybody can have a donkey.
Yeah, I'm with Marina for the practicality that a donkey, like a lot of them are, currently they are for transportation, but riding a giraffe every now and then would keep things spicy. I mean, that would be cool to see higher. I mean, personally. Let's go one more. Let's go to a food direction. The classic pineapple on pizza. Would you rather have it or would you rather not? I see some heads shaking yes. See thumbs up. Melissa shaking her head
Yes.
her way. John, chime in. Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
No, not a fan.
It's,
Never actually tried it. But just
man, I've been trying foods on here every single week. I would love to watch you try some pineapple on pizza, and it would blow your mind.
It probably would. It'd probably be delicious, but just the concept,
It's like if you can get it right, like that, just the sugar on the fatty, salty pizza is just so good. Personally, like this reminds me, so pineapple on pizza also reminds me of if you've ever like made oatmeal or something where you heat up bananas and they get kind of warm. Oh, it's like the texture and oh, come on, Dakota. It's so good. But like pineapple and pizza kind of gives me that same vibe, for sure.
That makes sense.
Alrighty.
Kind of like the salad. I would prefer the pineapple to be cold when it's on the pizza, so it's not cooked with the pizza. Not completely raw, but just slightly warm.
I could see that. I feel like I think you'd have to be cooked enough so that like the chemistry breaks down. I'm not a food expert, but I feel like there's something out there where like it breaks down, like the sugars, like the opposite of caramelization. I don't know, man. I'm just a nutrition coach. Let's see. I'm going to go to the good old presentation and we're going to get going here. I had some issues last week managing too many monitors. So this week, I'm going to see if I can just do one monitor, if it makes a difference. Sharing my screen. Let me know what you see right now. Okay. I'm seeing some faces. Are you guys seeing faces as well? Or is that on your side?
No, dinner table, slide.
Okay, just slides. All right. The good news for me is that I can see faces.
Well, no, faces and slides. I'm sorry. There's faces on the side.
But that's probably on your system, correct?
Correct, yeah.
It's not the one that I'm dragging around.
Correct.
Sweet. That's why we got you here. That's why we got you here.
Did we, before we get started, did we cover what Aislinn's fixing over there? She's working really hard making something.
She'll tell us here.
I'm going to attempt that paleo white chicken chili.
Was that shared by Michelle?
I'm not sure who shared it, but I'm doing it.
Is it soup based, like a soup? Or is it plate based?
Yep. No, it is soup based.
Soup was so good. We've had that once and I cannot wait to have it again. Very good.
Cool. Okay. I'm having fun watching you fix food.
Right now she was frozen on my screen, but there she goes. All right, tonight we start off with Would You Rather. We're gonna go through some feedback. We had only one question that came in this week on multivitamins. I'll give you my little take on that. Before we read labels, I will actually go back to last week and give us some of the slides and lessons from last week, because that will set us up for reading labels. And of course, we will update the leaderboard for best team name. We have some good names, and the gym leaderboard is really, really tight race. So without further ado, we play a little Would You Rather. Feedback, guys. I'm getting all sorts of good stuff. People are making progress in like a million different ways. And on the next slide, I'm going to share some of what people are saying. But how are you guys liking Sugar WOD? How's the Facebook group? Are you feeling there's always something to go and look at if you need to? And are any of you making progress you want to share? Let's start with one question at a time. Y'all talk to me about Sugar WOD. Are y'all seeing the core? Y'all liking the burn and the build?
Yeah, Sugar WOD is great.
John, are you using the core, like the nutrition stuff as well?
No, I don't know. I don't believe.
2 weeks ago on Sugar WOD, we were tracking water, like the ounces of water.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm drinking all the water.
All the water. Yeah, a lot of people have been drinking all the water. But last week we worked on
protein for breakfast.
Correct. And this week colors.
Yeah, I haven't had. My breakfast is relatively uniform.
Okay. So the what I'm liking about the Sugar WOD is I'm just giving everyone a chance for another spot to look at nutrition, to kind of see where they stack up on the leaderboard, see how other people are doing. So yeah, that's one reason I kind of have Sugar WOD over there for. Facebook group. Oh, Iceland.
So I like the leaderboard because like I'm competitive and I like to log stuff on Sugar WOD. But then I get confused because like on some of the rules, like when you said 3 points per veggie color and then 2 points per fruit color, but then people are like logging like the same color multiple times. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to just log like 3 points for every single veggie and 2 points for every single fruit, even if it's double, because some people have like 20 something points. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, no.
You really
So,
are a CrossFitter.
Just saying, sometimes people.
I understand.
Yeah.
But
So
I'll own up to
anyway,
that.
but it's good
I'm
because
still learning
it
how to
pushes me because
program.
I want to eat.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead there, Iceland. Finish what you were saying.
No. I was just saying, like, it's good because it just pushes me. It still pushes me to they 4 colors or however many. Then okay, so it's good.
I got you. Patrick, you want to chime in?
I'm doing the things, I'm not logging them. Like I go crazy on the water and the colors. I think I'm doing pretty good on. I'm just not in there logging them. And you have messaged me about that. I need to get better at logging the stuff if I'm going to do it.
Yeah, well, what I'm happy about is that you are doing. That is the most important thing. So just like Iceland's concerns, like one thing I'll own up to it, like I'm still learning how to program nutrition in some ways. So like I could do better job of making the rules clearer or just simplifying the objective. But in the end, I'm proud of both of you for just like going after it and doing the stuff. Like that's really, really what is important here. Let's see. I see we have Patrice on the line and Catherine from New Hampshire. What's up, Catherine?
Hey, Taylor. Nice and snowy up here.
Nice and snowy in New Hampshire. Well, it's cold and windy in Oklahoma, but that's just typical here. So what we're doing here is I'm just going through feedback of our nutrition challenge. Anyone here making progress they want to share, or just like, because there's a lot of progress going around and it's in a lot of different forms. And if you don't want to, I'm going to share some anyways. Let's go for it. Here's what some people are saying. Some people are talking about the building each week is still really working for them, and I'm happy about that. That's from the base design. They're saying it's helping them be thoughtful about what they're eating. Some people really got some benefit out of the clean out, the kitchen clean out for the fridge and the pantry. Some people are still getting stuff from the partner in the group. So some people are starting to fit into their jeans again, which I'm happy about. A lot of people are losing weight on the burn track. So that's really killer. We have people anywhere from like 2 to 3 pounds, which is amazing in a few weeks. Some people are like 10 pounds, 11 pounds, 12 pounds, which is insane. Whenever I see the larger losses, I'm like, hey, how you feeling? How you doing? Because like, that's a pretty big jump, and everyone who is burning it up is feeling good. They're saying like, actually, I haven't had this much energy in a while. And so they feel like on top of that, that they can sustain this for a little while longer. So I think that's also from the building. People are having better energy, like this person saying the midday crashes have gone away. Some people are just liking that we're checking in on them a lot. They're getting messages, getting answers. And so that's pretty much what I've been seeing. I have a whole longer list of these, but these stuck out to me, so I wanted to share them with you. What's up, John?
So one big thing I've noticed is I drink less coffee.
Hello.
Sorry, that was my wife. And
oh, we could have talked to your wife. I wanted to find out if she was drinking her water.
Oh, probably not.
So you're drinking less coffee.
Yeah, I have an espresso machine in my office, so I was averaging around like 8 to 12 shots a day. And
whoa!
Now I'm down to like 4.
That's a big improvement.
Yeah,
that's a lot, dude.
With no crashes.
Yeah, that's a lot. Do you cut yourself off at a certain time, or you just like you have the best sensitivity and tolerance in the world?
I've just like limited myself to 2 shot Americanos. So like 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. But really it's just I don't need it with all the water I'm drinking. And so it's just been I'm not getting as tired. I have the energy and without it. So
that's killer, man. I'm so glad you shared that with me. Let's move on. After feedback, we had a question this week about multivitamin. What do you think about using a multivitamin? So the answer is always like, it depends. Multivitamin is kind of one of the earlier things I would address with a new client, but not for the health benefits, actually. Multivitamin, multi-mineral can be good. I really like that it's a great habit builder. At the same time, it is a super small insurance policy. If we should be eating lots of good foods all the time, but we're not perfect. So it can fill in some gaps, but on top of that, it's just a great habit builder. So for instance, starting the day off with water and a multivitamin can be like huge, because maybe you need that water in the morning. And for some people, a multivitamin might help a little bit. The next question that naturally comes up is which multivitamin, what brand, what kind. What I would suggest generally is just one that's aimed for adults. If you're a man, go for a men's. If you're a woman, go for a woman's. There is a distinct difference between men's and women's. Like women's typically will have higher iron, and we probably all can have a sense of why. But yes, getting one for your gender is great. Stay away from the sugary gummy ones. It's just another hoax. I mean, it might help you, but again, we're going to get into that a little bit later. So hopefully, if anyone out here is taking one, let me just see a show of hands. Who here takes a multivitamin? Nice, nice, nice. I see lots of hands. Good. We all taking adults?
Yes.
I'm not busting anyone's sugary gummy vitamins, am I? I'm here to do it. I'm here to bust people's dreams every week. Just kidding, just kidding. All right, sweet. Let's see what we had. Hey, what's up, Scotty? We're not driving tonight.
No, not tonight.
Scotty, I got a question for you.
Sure, what's up?
All right. I don't know if you were here last week, but I really want to know, if you had only one for the rest of your life, would you go with a fork or a spoon?
Oh, definitely a spoon.
Why? Why not a fork?
Why? Oh, I don't know, man. I feel like I can get more inside the spoon. Right?
How big is your spoon?
How big is your spoon?
I wasn't going that way.
I'm always the largest.
Mine's a medium size, just so everyone knows I can eat the most amount of food with a medium sized spoon. But if I'm eating ice cream, I'm using a really, really tiny spoon.
Does it last longer? Does it last longer with a tiny spoon?
All right, we're gonna move on here. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's go for another would you rather. Who's up for this one? Anyone up?
Shoot.
Patrick says shoot. Let's go with. Ooh, this one's cool. Oh. Would you rather your skin change color based on your mood, so like mood skin, or would you rather have tattoos everywhere that depicted what you did yesterday? Mood skin or yesterday's tattoos? So if you did some crazy stuff, your tattoos are going to tell us.
I'll go with mood skin. I'm not a tattoo person.
No, you're not a tattoo person?
Oh, although I'm pretty happy with my color though too, but yeah.
Yeah, I would say you got some good color going on. How many skin colors do you think would you have? Like I probably would wear mostly 2 colors because I'm pretty even keel or happy, but would you be like a chameleon, like 7 colors or 2 or 3?
Yeah, probably no more than 5. You know, there's the wake up color, the maintaining the mood color, the pre-workout color, the post-workout color, which I think I pretty much already get anyways.
What's your pre-workout color?
Excitement of some sort. I don't know, green, happy.
So in the green to yellow spectrum?
Yes.
And then after?
Very red. Very red. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Did you do the 2K red today?
I did not. Today's a down day for me on the gym. I did not. I try to I'm not a go every day kind of person. I really can have to relax in between.
Right, it was a great day for an off day, Patrick. Great day.
But I did go, we had bike earlier this week, didn't we, Aislinn? I've biked my butt off a lot recently too, and I want to lay down on the floor and cry afterwards.
Well, I was hearing complaints that I kept programming the bike on the burn track, so I apologize. We just got some new assault bikes up in Norman, and they're beautiful, and I just can't wait to use them a lot. And we have the new Concept 2 bikes. Yo, we're getting fancy up there.
So you're going to be in Norman Saturday, Taylor?
If I'm lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, Cupid's, yes. I'm changing equipment, so hopefully I'm not outside. Patrick, let's change equipment together.
We can. I'll be down there 8 o'clock-ish.
8 o'clock-ish. I don't know what time I'll be there, but I have a would you rather question because you're talking to me right now.
Okay.
Would you rather have constantly dry eyes or constantly runny nose?
Oh, that's no brainer.
Oh man, I'm just gonna. This will be a crapshoot because I love playing craps. But it would probably be the runny nose.
Scotty, what do you think?
Dry eyes for sure.
Could not agree more. Man, that runny nose, it just like no.
Dry eyes would be painful. I meant dry eyes would be painful.
Yeah. Neither of these are fun.
I need to get a headache from that.
Yeah, there's no good one here. There's the less of two bads, and so.
That's right. That is right. All right, what do y'all say we talk about some nutrition? Because we spent 30 minutes just having fun, and let's learn some stuff. Oh, okay. I want to remind you guys. Some of these have not been as often, but for you 15 minutes, talk to me about nutrition. We can make it personal. Someone jumped on a call today, and they were like, "Hey, I know I'm not checking in that much. I feel like I'm doing all of this. What can I do to challenge myself?" So man, we after 10, 15 minutes, we came up with something good for this person, and now they feel like more engaged and that they feel that they have something to work on. So there's a lot of stuff we can do in these calls. I've seen many of you on these calls, so just realize that they're there anytime. Let's see, I'm gonna jump a little bit ahead because I want to keep the leaderboards for a little while. Let's see where we're at. Gonna go through last week's slides kind of quickly, so stay with me. Gotta drag some screens around, present. Here we are. So last week we did the kitchen cleanup. I also called the audit. So anytime that things are starting to go awry for me, when things get slippery, I will go and audit my kitchen. I'll go clean it up. I saw many of you posted some awesome pictures already. So if you already did that, that's awesome. I'm going to go through it real quickly here. It always comes down to Berardi's first law. If the food is in your house, you're probably going to eat it. If you don't eat it, someone you love is probably going to eat it. Someone you don't even like might even eat it. So let's not sabotage. But the point here is that if it's in your house, and raise your hand if this is true, if it's in your house, not only are you going to eat it, you're going to eat all of it. I see a lot of hands. Absolutely. The corollary, the opposite is also true. Oh, almost used a fancy word there. Corollary. So y'all see that? I got brains up here too. The reverse is true. If you keep healthy stuff near us and convenient, we're going to eat it. We're probably going to maybe not eat all of it, but the point here is let's keep the healthy stuff near us, convenient. And even if we don't throw away the unhealthy stuff, sometimes just hiding it can be a good first step. There's a lot here. I'm going to sum it down. I'm not super great about, I don't love wasting food, but sometimes if it is the right move, if it's some super junky food and I just can't help it, it goes in the trash can. Oftentimes we will make up all these reasons why we should buy the junk food. Oh, it was on sale or it was on special. And then other times it's someone that we know that we love, it's their food, so we keep it for them. Or it's for special occasions. Let's see. But this is just a time to pause. Anytime we do the kitchen cleanup or the audit, is this working for me? Do I still need it around? And then from that point, we can assess what we do with it. you guys can ask a question or jump in at any time. I'm gonna just kind of try to go through this. So again, remember, first rule, if it's in your house, you're gonna eat it. We might not need it if it's not helping us. Let's see. A good clean kitchen definitely helps us stay in control. Just seeing the healthy stuff in the front of the fridge or on the cabinet, just by seeing it can make a huge difference. I saw Iceland was shaking her head. She agrees. The same thing I always like to say with like storaging in our fridge. Put the healthy stuff in clear containers. If you know what's in your fridge, you're more likely to eat it. If there's unhealthy stuff and if it's clear container, you're going to see it. If it's in a non-clear container, you probably still know it's in there. You can still eat it, but you're not going to be reminded or tempted as often. So you can use that in the fridge, in the pantry. I think I go through a good list of this. Last week I had everyone stop. I said, hey, go get a junk food. Let's check it out. These are the obvious things that are junk food. We probably know most of these. We probably don't need to go through the list. Chips, candy, for some of us, alcohol. The classic brand that tells you it's not real. It literally is called, I can't believe it's not butter. This is just in the margarine family. So again, it's like sort of junk food. Frozen dinners usually not great. They have a time and a place and a purpose, but we probably don't need to be stocking the whole thing with it. Restaurant leftovers. I've seen a lot of people in the Facebook group have been asking for better restaurant recommendations. So obviously leftovers, takeout, hopefully we're improving. But just any stuff that is kind of, if you looked at our red, green, yellow charts, if it's in red and it's obvious and convenient, you just got to know, either get rid of it, move it, or reduce it. I think I have some more. Yep. Here's a whole good list of ideas of how to get started here. Buy them in smaller quantities. When I think smaller quantities, like I love peanut butter, I could eat the whole jar. So what's something I got instead? I got pre-portioned in smaller quantities. I like the little cups. So that's just one step. Instead of buying the value, the bulk pack, if you know bringing home the whole, you guys seen the value packs of Pop-Tarts? Like Pop-Tarts is a classic example because it's a really, really crappy food, but sometimes we like want it or need it. We get it, but like bring home the big box. You're going to eat the whole dang big box over time. If you just decide to get with the smaller box. And this is something that I guarantee you, one of you can chime in and say, whenever you see the difference in price at the store and you're like, oh, well, I can save like $1 on this. Well, does that really matter whenever we're talking about 3 boxes of Pop-Tarts versus 1, when you know you're going to eat the whole 47 pack? So sometimes we try to justify this with, I'm saving an insignificant amount of food. Of course, this go to the store and enjoy it there with friends whom you love. This is my classic ice cream example. If you cannot keep ice cream in your house, why don't you plan to go get ice cream with a friend? Sitting down, enjoying ice cream at the shop with someone you love is 10 times more enjoyable than sitting in your couch, guiltfully having the ice cream every single night. I guarantee you, if you plan to go enjoy some of your treats and with people you like, you're going to enjoy it way more. You're less likely to do it every night because you have to get in the car, go spend the money. That also leads me to this one. This usually twice the quality, half as often. This usually goes with desserts. It usually goes with drinking. So whether you go to the bar or just at your house, man, get some nice wine. Get the best whiskey you can afford. You're going to enjoy the quality so much more, and you're probably going to have either half as much or half as often. Take care of yourself. If you want to enjoy some of these red light foods or the desserts or the alcohol, get some good stuff that you deserve, and then just have it less often. Enjoy it. Am I like hitting a button with any of you? A quick hand is all I need to see. Good. Glad to hear that. Awesome. If you're short, man, put some stuff you don't need on the highest shelf. Make sure you have to get a step stool out before you can get it. It's still in your house. You can still keep it. My crazy example, I said peanut butter. I have an Achilles heel, peanut butter. The craziest thing I did, and it worked, was I put oh man, there's so many levels to this. Let me take a second. I first made sure I got like the fancy peanut butter. It was like you got to stir it before you can get it because the oil separates. So I got the stir kind. I think it was the small jar. I put it in another room on the highest shelf in the closet. This sounds crazy, but y'all, I still had the peanut butter. I just had to go through a few hoops before I got it. And like on multiple occasions, I was like, I forgot that it was there, or I just had less of it, or, that the whole point of this is keep unhealthy stuff farther away and inconvenient. And it's not necessarily unhealthy stuff. It's just stuff that might not be working for you. The opposite's still true. Keep the healthy stuff in the front of the fridge, front of the pantry. Make so you can see it. Like I always like to say, like keep things at the eye level or the hand level. Hide stuff, lock it up. Yeah, get crazy. Put it behind the lock. Sounds super crazy. You can always donate food. You can put it in the trash can. Okay, after that, if I need to stop and pause and answer any questions, please let me know. Also, I can't see the chat box, so please let me know if someone has a question there. The next category of foods is trick foods, the stuff that you might not think is unhealthy, but it's not that it's unhealthy. You might just think it's healthy and it's not. I'm gonna go get the trick food I got last week. Be right back. It's the breakfast of champions. Who knows what that is?
Pizza? Please tell me it's pizza.
Where's Melissa? Is it chocolate?
Chocolate!
There we go. The breakfast of champions. Would you guys normally say this is a healthy food?
According to commercials, it is.
That's right. That's right.
They tell me it is.
That's right. It's the breakfast of champions. Matt Fraser, right here, baby.
Who's no longer competing as of today, correct?
Crazy, right? It's because
I was gonna say he's retiring.
Too many Wheaties.
No, this is your classic trick food. There's so many foods that are like it, and whenever we get into reading labels, you would understand why. We'll get to it. That's a great example for later. We often see all of these tags on trick foods. You guys recognize half of these things? The more labels, the more tags, buzzwords you see, the more, doesn't mean it's unhealthy. The more I want you to press pause and take a moment and say, are they trying to trick me into buying this food? Sometimes these labels are meaningful, and sometimes they're not relevant at all. If you see stuff that's like gluten-free, like there might not be any like thing close to gluten in there. So like you might just stop yourself and be like, how many buzzwords are on here? Are they relevant? And so again, the theme here is I'm trying to raise your awareness. I'm trying to raise your education level in terms of just how food is packaged. These are products that they want us to buy because they want to make money. We have money to spend, and how much of our money are we going to give to them? How much are we going to support our goals? So I hope tonight you feel just more confident with answering those questions. You guys have any problem with any of these tags? Because some of them are great tags. I think one stuck out to me here. Go ahead. Anyone?
I was going to say, I really appreciate you sharing this because I think it is easy to kind of get distracted by these and think, oh, this is really good, but just having that critical eye to say, okay, I'm still going to look at the label. I'm still going to look at the ingredients, and I'm not just going to go based on what has, all of these buzzwords.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks for sharing. Press pause, press pause. The more of these you see, just press pause harder. One I really like to see on this one is, and I think Dakota shook her head last week whenever I said this, on this Wheaties box, it's in the super small type, but it does contain bioengineered food ingredients. So the more aware you become of your food, and we're gonna get that, you're gonna start seeing these things. And I don't know if someone made this company put that on there, but that's alarming. Just think of someone with a lab coat with like beakers, and they're testing these products like thousands of different ways so that it has the right crunch, the right smell, the right texture, the right temperature. All so that whenever you crunch it in your mouth, it creates like this endorphin rush in your brain so that you want to buy it again and so that you want to eat more. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. These same things are why we like the good food that we like, but you have to remember, if it's not working for you, press pause and try to figure out why. If it contains bioengineered food ingredients, the box tells you why. Move on, stop. I asked people to go get their trick foods. I got one for you. That's last week. Let's see. Trick foods. Here's some of them. Pseudo protein bars. If you've been on any of these before, you know that I call protein bars poop sticks. I don't need to go into it too much, but you don't see protein bars growing in the fields. And on top of that, there are bars that look like protein bars, which are even worse. And they're not bad foods. They have a spot. They have a place in your diet. But if you just think that you're eating any of these trick foods because you think it's healthy, I'm just asking you to press pause and figure out some of the stuff that we're talking about tonight. Like the classic granola. Man, has granola been advertised to us for years to be like, granola is healthy? I can think of multiple occasions whenever like trail mix or granola, and you're like, yeah, that's super healthy. Oh, I see we got a dog on the screen. Nice. Should we take a pause? You guys got all your water? I want to see water or dogs.
All I have are cats and salmon.
Cats and salmon. Oh, we got a cat on the screen. We someone took the dog here away. We still have the cats. Oh,
what's the cat's name? Catherine?
I have one of each. Her name is Luna. She is low-key a dog though, so it looks like a cat but acts like a dog. Plays fetch. Yeah.
Nice. That's a special cat right there. Let's get back to nutrition and labels. You guys want to, would you rather? Would you like to lighten the mood? Because it's going to get serious. I see Allison showing me her Koda bottle. Melissa, I got to ask you a question. I think I need some entertainment here.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a would you rather. You want it to be general or about food?
Surprise me.
Surprise you. What if it's funny? Let's go for a funny one. That's not a would you rather. This was crazy. Surprise you. I got you. After every serious conversation you have, would you rather have to fart loudly? Or after every kiss that you have, would you rather have to burp? So,
burp.
Burp after every kiss?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
The fart loudly is kind of...
Do what?
I was going to say the fart loudly is like kind of like over the top.
That would be fun in certain situations with certain people. Like if I knew if it would elicit a specific reaction, then I would probably choose that.
You have some great friends then.
I do.
That's what she chooses with me, at least.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
One of them's on the call. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, I'll end the would you rather. It's not really a would you rather. It's a this or that, and it's really more like you're right or you're wrong. Toilet paper, over or under?
Over.
Over only.
Over is the correct answer, and if you're saying I'm not sure, then you're wrong. It's always over. Anyways, let's move back to some nutrition talk. This is the stuff you wouldn't think about. Condiments, barbecue sauce, sweetened sauces. I have this like, it's not a phobia, but there's this like weird thing that I know, like whatever food is generally behind the swing open doors is probably either a trick food or kind of on this food. Anyone have an idea why? Why sweetened sauces and relishes and ketchup? Ketchup is the big culprit. Anybody know? Anybody know? Should I go get
just like all sugar?
There's a lot of stuff hidden in those things. A lot of stuff. And these are things that are just so easy to forget about because typically they're like toppings, like the breadcrumbs, croutons. They either, some of them, like the breadcrumbs and the croutons, they add that texture that we're looking for. But in the sauces, they add that extra burst of the taste of the food. And these things can just hide and just pass under our radar. But I encourage us to read the labels. Let me see if I can grab one just to see. This isn't to rain on your parade because I love these things too. Don't worry. Not sure if you can hear me, but I think let's see. I got ketchup. And some are great. So I'll get this one too. I grabbed ketchup and mustard, jalapeno mustard. You guys like Whataburger? Spicy ketchup? It's delicious. Catherine doesn't know about Whataburger up in New Hampshire.
I don't know about it. Nope.
Okay. Y'all, let's see. We have a cat in the house. I don't know if you guys heard that. I think I can make it say hello. Hello. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Hello.
That's the best thing.
That's creepy.
It's amazing.
I love that. That's great.
Back to 7 o'clock at night, it's okay. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard that cat.
The people in this house, there it is again. It's great. Serving size 1 tablespoon. So we're gonna learn how to read these things. What really catches you off guard is that a tablespoon of ketchup is not a lot, and 20 calories doesn't sound like a lot. But whenever you rely on fancy ketchup to make your food taste good, your junk food taste good, we got a lot of problems going on. If I read the ingredients, the first ingredient is not, ooh, you're gonna like the second one. The first ingredient is tomato concentrate, not tomatoes, tomato concentrate. Second one is high fructose corn syrup. Later on we get sugar but here's the thing, in a little tiny serving, 1 tablespoon, you're having total carbohydrates, 4 grams, and 1 of those grams is a good carb. It's some sort of version of tomato. The other 3 grams of carbs are added sugars. So in stuff that you don't normally think about, is that what this slide's called? Stuff you wouldn't even think about. There's just stuff hiding in there that we forget. We'll get into it a little bit more. I also got the mustard. So there are other hot sauces. There are plenty of spices, like straight out of the spice. What do we call those things? Spices that obviously don't have calories, but like mustard and hot sauces are great. This has 0 calories, 90 servings. I mean, there's some sodium and other stuff in it. But like the ingredients are easy. I can read them all. There's vinegar. There's mustard seed, there's salt, turmeric, paprika, jalapeno peppers, and spices. This is like mostly real. This is real food in here. It's awesome. So whenever you open up your doors and you see condiments or anything else, after tonight's, the next few slides, you're going to know what and why. Let's get into it.
I'll comment real quick on ketchup.
Go for it.
So I love ketchup. I love all sauces. Ranch, honey mustard, everything. I love the sauces. But I went to the store and I was like, oh, I'm going to pick a healthier ketchup.
It's hard.
And there was
one
right? That was like sugar-free, supposedly. So, I mean, this was before the challenge or anything. So it'd been in my fridge for probably a few months, but I threw it away because first of all, it tasted gross. Second of all, I went back. It didn't have sugar, but it had, I think it was sucralose. And it was like all those like things that are fake sugars. And I'm like, I don't want this. Like, this is not any better. So I think that's good to just kind of keep in mind too, because sometimes you think it's healthy again, but it tricks you. And then it's like, this is not any better and it tastes gross.
Yeah.
So.
No, I love that. And I've had.
That's my rant.
No, it's okay.
Ketchup.
I'm going to talk a lot about sugar, and I'm not trying to paint the devil on sugar. It's not like that tonight. But there is specifically ketchup. I've had a really, really tough time finding a healthy ketchup, and I don't know what it is or why specifically that food. I don't even know what ketchup would taste like if it's whole tomatoes. I'm not really sure. I'm not huge on tomatoes, but ketchup specifically is the one I haven't figured out yet. But as long as we're raising the awareness on like serving size and or ingredients, then we're at least taking a step in the right direction. And even if we haven't figured out ketchup yet, we'll hopefully figure out some better options for like salad dressings and other things. So,
hey Taylor, I wanted to share. This is the ketchup that we get.
Yeah.
Doing keto. And we get it at Sprouts, and I got it actually because the Sprouts app had a free coupon.
Nice.
So, we got 4 free bottles throughout the month, and these are the nutrition facts here. So I'll read it to you.
Yeah,
Serving
please.
size 1 tablespoon, calories 5, total fat 0, sodium 190 milligrams 8%. Total carbohydrates, 2 grams, 1%. Added sugar, 0. It says ingredients are water, tomato paste, apple cider vinegar, pineapple juice, sea salt, onion powder, garlic powder, allspice, clove.
That sounds pretty decent. I really like the sound of that. Go ahead, Alex.
I have a good one too.
You have the same
The
one?
Primal Kitchen. No, it's a different one.
Okay.
It's the Primal Kitchen, so you can get it at like Target or Walmart
Primal
or
Kitchen's
whatever.
good. Love that.
And it's unsweetened, so it's kind of the same ingredients as she said. It's doesn't have any sugar or anything in it.
Okay,
And
those
everything's
two
organic.
sound good. Very important question because this really matters to a lot of people. How does it taste? How does it combine with food? How does the mouth feel? Because like we're not gonna go and have the other stuff that doesn't taste good.
But it's good.
I like this one. I don't use ketchup on everything, but if we're doing like a bunless burger and you want a little bit of some sauce, it's better than like the sugar-free barbecue sauce and things like that. It says some of the things that were on that one slide, 0 grams of sugar, non-GMO, Whole30 approved, gluten-free, keto. The only thing that kind of sucks about it is the bottle. So you have to like stick a knife in it to kind of get a little bit. It's hard to get just 1 tablespoon because it's not a squirt bottle.
That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate both of you for sharing those. And it sounds like I have some decent options out there, and I bet you Iceland's going to go pick up some of these options. But I strongly encourage you guys to share that with the Facebook group because the ketchup, the mystical ketchup, I'd like to solve that for other people as well. So please share that with the Facebook group. Let's get into food labels. This is what we came here for. Before we go with that, I want to differentiate real food from edible food-like substances or real food from bioengineered food ingredients. So these are the questions that I want you guys to ask yourself before you go into the grocery store with your grocery list. I want your grocery list to be perishable food. Think about anything that will go bad in the next month. Also look at where it is in the store. Is it in the middle aisles? Is it around the perimeter of the aisle? How far away is this food from where it used to be? Meaning like how many steps of processing has it gone through? Think about this, how many hands exchanged from the time it was in the field to the time you picked it up? Obviously all food that we're gonna go to the grocery store was handled at some point, but how many times did it change hands? how many people paid for it between you and them, because there's profit margins, all of these things. We're going to talk about ingredients, how many ingredients, and let's even look at what it's packaged in. Bag, box, plastic container, fancy labeling. Is it asking you to buy it? That's what we're getting into. Food labels are just a start. You'll never see a tomato with a food label on it. It just doesn't happen. Last week I shared a bag of potatoes. So like obviously is it come in a box? Does it come in a bag? Well, yeah, but the potatoes came in a bag, but you can look at the ingredient, the nutrition panel, and what is the ingredient? There was one, potatoes. Let's see. Labels are not perfect. They are not accurate at all, which is pretty crazy. There's like a tolerance. I want to say like a +20, -20 tolerance of accuracy on labels. I've even gone crazy enough back in my counting calorie days, because I was mostly curious, but I would take a poop stick. By poop stick, I mean a protein bar. I would take it out of the wrapper. On the wrapper, it would say, let me go get one. Let me do this. Let's see if we're right or not. And then I'm going to have a protein bar. I have a food scale here. We're doing science here on the Zoom. I got an RX bar, peanut butter chocolate, poop stick, because you just don't see things that look like this in nature. Protein bar, they call it a protein bar. I like to think a full serving of protein is 20 to 25 grams to 30 grams. This has 12 grams, so this is why I call it a pseudo protein bar. It's like only halfway, even though it's labeled as a protein bar. But I love the ingredients. It only has real food ingredients: dates, peanuts, egg whites, chocolate, natural flavors. All right, natural flavors. It's a little weird. Sea salt and cocoa. It's cool. This is a great dessert. What did I come here for? Okay, so food labels are not perfect. They're not accurate. Hardly all. Okay, net weight, 1.83 ounces, 52 grams. Let's see if we got lucky this time. You better bet I'm gonna eat it. Not on camera though. My point here is that labels are just a starting point. They're not necessarily accurate. And let's see what we have here. Oh, y'all, we got pretty lucky. The label says 53 grams. The label says 52, and this one weighs 51. We were lucky. This one was close. What I used to find is that even like let's not even talk about the actual nutrition label on the back, but like how much is in it. You'll see like a bag of chips is supposed to weigh 200 grams inside, and you'll see like 180. You'll see, it's crazy. They get away with some crazy stuff with food labels. This is what it's saying. We'll have a big variation. So even like the more real food we get, the growing conditions matter. The weather when it was grown matters. So like even how much fiber or protein in it, it varies a lot. So just realize that what's on the label is not necessarily what you're about to put in your mouth, from the weight, the volume, and the nutrients. So at this point, don't get too hung up on the numbers. Always stick to whole foods. And I think that's what this next slide says, or one of them says. But I want you guys to be a critical consumer. The next slide, we're going to go through kind of the general order of things to look at. And there's going to be one thing really, really obvious. And without further ado, we're looking at a food label. The first thing I want you to always do is look at the ingredients. Before you look at the calories, before you look at anything else, even if this isn't what I want you to do is I want you to start getting in the habit of kind of doing things in the reverse order of how we probably typically do it. I want you to start with the ingredients because I want you guys to eat more real food. So with that being said, I want you to start with the ingredients and end with the ingredients. Why do I go with protein second? Anybody know? If you've been part of the challenge, you realize what we started with. No, we started with water. I'm sorry. When we talk about food, wait, no, we went with fruit. Oh no, I totally screwed up, you guys. Protein is typically tougher to start with. So I started off with water, then fruit, because I wanted you guys to have success. But if I'm building a nutrition plan for anyone, I will always start with the most fundamental thing being protein and then fruits and veggies. Protein is so important, and I don't need you all to be eating super high protein, but across the board, most of us are probably not having enough. So if we're seeing food with little to no protein, can we find a higher protein option? In the end, I'm just trying to shift everyone away from the added sugars, the industrial oils, to more real food, which should have higher protein, more fiber. And so this list isn't perfect, but after the ingredients label, and we're going to go through the next 2 or 3 slides, is going to show you all the different terms for sugar. Start with the ingredients. If you're seeing a lot of junk, if you're seeing a lot of stuff you can't read, if you're seeing, what is this, like niacinamide, niacinamide. There we go. Or blue. Thank you. Or blue number 2, lake. Blue number 2, lake. Yellow number 6, lake. The point here is that you should be reading real foods that you actually know and like, and should be, we're going to go through some of the sugars, so you should be able to pronounce things. It should have little to no ingredients. Like, look how long this is. This is crazy. There's a lot of, the more ingredients probably just means the more that someone put it in a big mixing bowl and mix it up, and now you can't tell. I look at protein, so I want protein in there. We like to say 12 is about a half serving, 20 to 25 is a full serving. I would always look at the added sugars, not because we want added sugars, but if any added sugars are in there, it's just a red flag. It's just like, it doesn't mean it's bad, but I want to see some protein and some fiber. And then I'm just looking at these other things, like added sugars is just a warning. Another crazy thing is serving size. It's really important that we start connecting serving size and servings per container. Because if you are not stopping and looking at serving size, you might, a lot of times you can really have fun with labels if you go to the gas station. Gas station is just simply processed foods. You'll go look at like the muffins and you'll see like serving size, half muffin, like 1/2 of the muffin or 1/2 of the package. How many of you have ever bought a muffin from the gas station and stopped at half? Or Pop-Tarts, like one pastry? No, I just opened the whole thing. So like you'll notice that like half of the package will be a serving, calories that you're like, okay, that's not bad, I'll hit that. But you're gonna eat the other one too. So I want to point you towards ingredients first. Check out, see if there's some protein or fiber. Those are good things. Those are positive things. If there's added sugars, I'm like, okay, let me take a step back. Really look at the serving size and serving per container. Maybe next I'm looking at kind of the total fats or the total carbs, just depending on my goals at any given time. If I'm like looking to gain weight or if I'm looking to keep my weight. You guys have any questions about this right now? Is this what you guys are already doing? Some of us?
I have a question about added sugars.
Go for it, please.
So like, obviously we don't want a ton of added sugars, but like, what would you say is a normal or an okay amount? Because isn't like 5 grams just 1 teaspoon of sugar?
I don't remember the difference between the teaspoon, tablespoon, and the grammage. Have you ever seen like someone weigh out how much, like, let's say like 20 grams of sugar is? Like sometimes it's a lot. And so
yeah.
I don't want to give you a number because this is less about the specific number. It's more of like, is there 1, 2, or 3, or is there like 10 and above. Like I kind of like to compare how many added sugars are there versus protein, how many added sugars are there versus fiber. And like, that's really where you're going to notice some differences, because you're going to find foods that have a ton of added sugars probably don't have much like fiber, or don't have much protein. But if you're eating some of these other foods, which are kind of like okay foods, not perfect, but okay foods, you might see like, okay, it has some added sugar, but it still has plenty of protein. It still has plenty of fiber. And so like right there, you're just, right there, you've taken control of the situation and you know, okay, I'm cool with this. But you're definitely going to start noticing that there's an abundance of like 7 and above and 3 and below. I think we have a chat. Let me catch that real quick. 5 grams of sugar is 1.4. Thanks, Gina or Virginia. Oh, good to see you here. Yes, so 5 grams, correction 1.2. Sweet. So on this current slide, you're also seeing all the different names for sugar. There's a lot. I think I said before, there's a lot of them that end with OSE or ASE. I'm going to go back to our trick food, the Wheaties, the trick food here. So sugar is the second ingredient. Corn syrup is one. Oh, how about this? Vitamin E, which is in here. Cool. I like the sound of vitamins. Vitamin E was added to preserve freshness. Interesting. So this one doesn't have any more. High fructose corn syrup is going to pack a big punch. This one has sugar. You're going to see just, I think the next slide is the same. Where's all that sugar hiding? There's so many names for it. And I don't need you to go and like learn these, but there is something to be said for learning how to read menus, for reading labels, and just starting to kind of pick some of these apart. And again, look at the ingredients first, look at the ingredients last, and you're going to start noticing some of these are picking out. You're going to find a lot of these like healthier looking foods that have all those special tags. They're going to definitely try to name sugar something fancier, like organic cane sugar. Like, sounds awesome, right? It's organic. You just need to realize it's still added sugar. Before I get crazy, the most important thing that we can learn from all this wasn't necessarily about sugar or added fats or industrial fats. It's just to point you guys towards eating more real foods, to check out your labels, check out those ingredients, look for those added sugars. You should be able to pronounce things. And if you're ever in doubt, you can just shop the food that is not in the aisles, because if it has an expiration date, it probably means it's real food. Let's see. So last week you might have been wondering, okay, now that I threw out all this junk food that you said, what do I do now? Don't overthink it. If you're having trouble and you need to move towards eating a little bit more real food, start with 2 or 3 favorites, whether it's veggies, fruits. Go get them, put them in the front, clear containers, portion them out. I always like to say your grocery haul is never over until you actually get in the house and do something with it. I think oftentimes we were like, all right, I got the groceries, it's in the pantry, I'm done. But I like to urge you guys to go and do something with that food. Prep it. Doesn't mean you have to be a bodybuilder prepping like every single meal, but come home and do something with that food. Your grocery haul is not over until you made those healthy stuffs front and center, obvious, it's usable. I want us to go to the grocery store and get some usable food. That's the whole chop and store immediately. Grocery store pickup or delivery is a great idea. Hey, we have a lot of people using the meal pickups from the gyms. Those are amazing. I really support that stuff. Any other ideas you guys have? Let's see. I'm going to jump out of this here. Any questions? I'm here for them, y'all. Give me some questions. I'll either go would you rather, but I'm also going to update you guys here on the leaderboard. We have a tight race coming. The percentages are down a little bit. Okay, here we go. Present. For the third week in a row, our leaderboard has not changed. We have HQ in the lead, but it is so small. I'm really surprised that our biggest gyms have this much compliance this late in the challenge and that it's this close. So the leaderboard is close. I haven't released all of the prizes, but I want to just let you guys know that at least for the gym leaderboard, what I have planned is for whichever gym wins to put together a potluck dinner and to have some of the meals made or crafted by Cassie from our home track. So we're talking about some good home cooked food. So if you're part of Brisky's Basset Band, I see you, Scotty. Get your hombres ready and make sure everyone's checking in every day. Let's move on. We have this awesome team name competition going on. We are in the Sweet 16, and Patrick said it already today, between scrambled legs and This Is the Way, they are getting tougher because we have some really good team names in this. And, you know, I have an idea who's going to probably be in the final, but we have some really good names. This week we added their reasons why. Some of the people had some funny stuff. And so next week, you're going to get excited. I'm going to be excited. Like, is this a goat, y'all? What is this? What animal is this? Someone educate me. He looks absurd.
Looks like a goat.
Like the GOAT. There we go.
The greatest of all time. So next week, I want y'all to get excited. We're going to have some good team names to vote on. Those are in the Facebook group. And yeah, what have I not covered? What do y'all want to talk about? I'm here. 7:23. I know we had some people join late. We can play Would You Rather. Go, Melissa.
Trail mix that is comprised mostly of raw almonds and cashews with maybe a tiny bit of dried cranberry and raisins.
Dried cranberries, raisins, add sugars. What do you think?
Because I will eat that by the handfuls.
So,
even if it's just cashews and almonds.
So I love all those foods. Those are really good, healthy foods. But you've already said it. If it causes you to overeat them or overindulge, that is the underlying thing we're talking about here. We can separate it from the whole trick food. They advertise it for you to be healthy, you know, like all that. But if we're going to talk about healthy nuts, healthy fats, they're awesome. They're great for our diet. They just pack a lot of calories in them. If we're eating them by the handful, it doesn't take long before there's a bunch in the tank, you know?
Okay.
And generally, if we have a general sense or feeling of like, is this working for me or not, we usually have the answer already. Does that make sense? And like you asked, I don't know if you're asking for permission, but you had a sense already of like whether it was working for you or not. That's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not like, hey, get rid of it. It's like, hey, what can I do to still enjoy this? You know, because there's many ways to do it. Someone told me something really cool today, and I don't claim to have all the strategies or the tips or tricks, but anytime someone surprises me, I love it. It blows me away. They were like, okay, this week I want to work less on like just like junky chips. They have some chips that they really like, and I would encourage you all to like enjoy the foods you like. If you can't love your diet, why are you doing it? But let's take a little bit of ownership of what's working, what doesn't. The ingenious thing that they did was that when they had motivation, when they were up in energy, they weren't hungry, they went and they took the chips that they like and they split them up into different portions, and then they added some healthy stuff to the chips. So they made like their own trail mix. And so they still can enjoy the chips. They just kind of spread it out. And by pre-portioning it whenever they had their willpower or whatever we call, I was just like, that is so cool, so genius. And so there's just more ways to do it than just throwing it away. So I hope that we picked up some of those ways. Thanks, Melissa. I see Virginia shaking her head.
I have a question.
Yep. Go ahead.
So I'm in the burn track, but I'm also doing like the build workouts because I want to build strength and muscle. You know, obviously in addition to burning fat, but so I haven't been in the conversations about like supplements and stuff, but I am going to start, or I did start taking creatine. And I know you said it kind of didn't matter what time you take it, just more like being consistent about taking it every day. Is that right?
Correct. The people out there doing research on creatine, there's so much of it. There's one camp that says before workout for some reasons, and some people in the other camp that say after for other reasons. And so the research community cannot decide. There's no clear better before, after. And then there's a ton of people in the camp that are like, it doesn't matter, just take it every day. So my point is probably it's best as another habit builder, as a just like get it in consistently, because it doesn't work unless you get it in consistently. Simply put, there's so much research out there. It provides gains in terms of strength numbers. It provides gains in terms of like body composition. It's proven. Science proves it. It's not like you're going to feel anything crazy, but science has proven it so many times that if you can just get it in your diet every day, go for it. That's the best way. I love to pair creatine on days that I work out because it gives me like that positive association between working out and getting my goals, and so I love that for that reason too. My other thing.
What about BCAAs?
BCAAs. The fitness industry's got us. They make us think we need to take BCAAs. BCAAs are in our protein that we should be scooping maybe once per day. BCAAs is just part of protein. We need them. I think they're just overpriced because you can get the same amount, if not more, in just a regular scoop of protein. Simply put. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think taking a special BCAA supplement helps. Actually, it helps because it's like protein. Yeah, just take a scoop of protein for sure. A big focus in the build track with the supplements was I wanted to really grab people's attention and to get them to take the supplements that matter and to not get distracted by all the other supplements. There are a ton of supplements out there. They're generally, let's go back to fancy packaging. They're usually in like absurdly colored packages. There is some science and research out there about like all of them, and they're either mildly effective or they are overpriced or underdosed. And so like, there's just so many things about that is icky. So I'm just trying to point people to, all right, here, take the ones that actually are proven, and forget about those, because also you'll find that creatine is very cheap and it's not talked about a lot because it's no longer sexy. It doesn't like unicorns aren't making rainbows. Like it's not that special because it's proven, and it's so cheap because it's just everyone makes it because it works. So I'm trying to get people to be less distracted by all the other supplements out there. They all kind of work, but not as well as we want. In the end, our best supplements is figuring out a way to eat real good food consistently. That's not sexy, but it works really good. Really, really good. I know a lot of you are making gains by eating real food out there. We're talking like creatine, maybe 5% at most sort of gains, but people out there who are eating real food right now are seeing like 75, 150% gains, like crazy percentages like that actually matter. It's 7:30. I'm not here to keep you guys, but I'm here to answer questions. My spiel is kind of over, but my soapbox is not. What's up, Patrick?
I missed the original creatine conversation, so thanks for asking that, Aislinn. Was there any particular kind that you recommend or that you absolutely are against as I sit here and have Amazon open in the window next to your face?
If it's not monohydrate, don't buy it. There's a a crazy amount of research that is proven on monohydrate, and all of the other forms are more expensive because they're not tested and they're trying to make you buy a more expensive version. Monohydrate is the one to go with. It takes about a month of taking 5 grams a day before your muscles are saturated with it. And that's really all we're looking for, is saturation in your blood, or not in your blood, but in your body. So 5 grams a day does it. Some people experience minor side effects, but that's because they, instead of taking the 5 grams a day, they try to get saturated in 1 week. So they'll take like 10 grams, 15 grams in the first week. But side effects are so low. It just takes 5 grams a day over a month, saturation.
Say that again. How long does it take? 1 month?
Roughly, yeah. Take
Okay.
it every day, 5 grams a day. A month later, saturation. You might see your numbers jump up 5 to 10%, maybe not. Some people are non-responders. But it's one of these things, and this is the whole point of the conversation. A supplement is just a supplement to a good diet. If you're trying to take it because you think that alone is going to make the difference, you're barking up the wrong tree. But if you trust the science and you trust the abundance of research on it, if you just take it every day, 5 grams a day, you might see some benefit. Pretty much.
What about if I need to just burn fat? I'm not really concerned about muscle because I want to burn fat. Should I wait to take stuff like that? I'm not doing like the specific track for it. I'm just doing the home track.
My first, and I won't pass this up, because if the goal is burn, if the goal is improve your health from fat loss or body recomposition, pull out all the stops so that your diet is working towards your goal. That has to be number one. So that's food, that's strategy for food, and strategy for drinks. There is positive research that backs up creatine for body composition. What that means is that if it helps you lift more, if it helps you get a couple more reps, your body composition will naturally trend in the better direction because you're working out harder, and exercise helps you moderate your eating. And so like, it's kind of a roundabout effect, but creatine has been tied with, like research has tied it to positive body composition. So hopefully that answers, but the most important thing is that you're pulling out all the stops for your nutrition intake.
That makes sense. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Aislinn, do you have any creatine you're taking now?
Yes, I just ordered some. It just got here yesterday, so it's my first day taking it. I got it from this website called X Endurance. I just checked it. It is monohydrate, so hopefully it's good.
I have no problem with this.
Can you see
this
that?
This is on Amazon.
Yeah, I have in my shopping cart, I have one from Optimum Nutrition, which had some pretty good reviews too.
What else is in it?
I don't know. It's kind of a black package. It's got a green label.
No, what else is in it? What else is in the label?
I know. Let me pull it up here. Hold on.
I like the brand Optimum Nutrition. They have protein powder that you can get for a good value. It's decent quality. But oftentimes you got to remember the industry is going to try to put other stuff in products. So I'm just.
Okay. In the back, it says creatine monohydrate, 5 grams.
That's the dose.
Directions, suggested usage.
So there's only one. There's only one ingredient, just the creatine monohydrate.
Other ingredients, none.
Sweet, go for it.
Cool. I can get it here by Thursday and have some of it in my body by the time I see you. Maybe I'll have gains by then on Saturday morning.
Man, you'll probably have gains from the workouts between now and then.
I'm actually going to help because I figure that's going to be a workout in and of itself for me. So.
It'll be fun. I can't wait.
Before I get off, I just want to show Patrick this chicken chili that was at the beginning of this conversation. Let me see if I can. There it is.
Oh, that looks like how it's supposed to look.
Topped with some avocado. So I'm ready.
Wow, so good.
It's killer.
You're doing more.
I'm super excited.
How much added sugar?
You make enough for all of us?
Come on over.
Okay.
There is roughly 6 bowls. I don't know how many people are on the call.
So it's like 2 Patrick bowls.
Yeah.
And that's why I am what I am.com. But Taylor's question, how much sugar is in it?
How much added
None.
sugar? Oh,
0.
Nice.
There's no sugar in. Well, actually, I don't know if the coconut milk has added sugar. Let me check. Nope, 0.
There you go.
0 added sugar.
Not that sugar's the devil, but we weren't tricked by anything in the meal, right? It's really hard to mess up real food meals, huh?
Yeah.
The more we're cooking at home, the better we're doing. The more copper plating we're doing at home, the better we're doing. Chocolate! Catherine, you got any questions? I see wine in the background. What are we having for dinner?
I know. I noticed that. Yeah, I just got to keep them on stock. You never know what night of the week you'll need some. But no, everything makes sense. Honestly, I wanted to see kind of your take on things because I do already keep track of like how much sugar, and I'm a ketchup fanatic. So when I found out how much was in it, it was a very sad day. Like I could put ketchup on everything. So yeah, I'm just monitoring and kind of hearing like what you guys are, eating or supplements is interesting because I really don't dive into that.
Catherine, are you part of the Facebook group?
I'm not. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a thing real quick so you can kind of see everything. It's just a ton of good. People are sharing a lot of their progress. People are sharing cool recipes, so it's just a cool place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
The one thing I would suggest, just as a small challenge, is go out, find your ketchup that you love. I'm not saying don't eat it. Measure it out. See what one serving size is. That'll help kind of tie the whole reading the label conversation together.
Definitely.
And I'm sorry if I bursted your bubble. I always burst someone's bubble.
No, I knew it. I've known it for a while. Like last night I made like a turkey meatloaf and put like a tiny little ketchup on the side, and that was it. I didn't add more because that was like my serving for the night, but it was just so sad when it's gone.
Well, after Stephanie or Allison share what they have, maybe you'll try that. And
yeah, I'm gonna
I think like
for
Primal
that,
Kitchen makes a lot of products, and most of them are pretty decent. And I bet you can order that online. If not, your grocery store might have it.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout. We have Wegmans here. I don't know if that's a thing.
Well, Stephanie, you said you get yours from Sprouts?
Someone said Target, I think.
Yeah, from Sprouts.
Is it a Sprouts brand or what is it branded?
No, it's a new Primal. I'll post a picture in the Facebook group. And Catherine, I have a ketchup-less meatloaf that doing keto. So I'll post that recipe too. And I've made it a few times. It does have bacon on top of it, which is obviously optional, but it's super good. And I'm not a big meat fan, but it's now like a once a week recipe. So I'll share that with the group. I've been pretty impressed with it. And it has ground beef, but you could substitute it for turkey if you preferred. But you can't tell that there's no ketchup in it. So
no, thank you, Stephanie. I'll definitely try that out.
And I'm likely to go and buy some of that ketchup too, because I don't eat a lot of it. Ketchup doesn't really move the needle for me, but if it's like a good option, I'd love to try it out for other people, and it might be good. So sweet. That's it for me. Scotty, Stephanie, Ben, Catherine. Last question.
I had a question about what's your preferred cooking spray, or are you a coconut oil or avocado oil, or do you have any tips on that?
Cooking spray I like if I'm trying to limit calories. I like the olive oil spray. That's my go-to. I've been using a lot more of the liquid olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, just because I'm trying to cook more and cook better, and I'm currently not on a calorie reduction diet. So but generally speaking, I like the extra virgin olive oil. Some people like the coconut, some people like the avocado. They're kind of used for different things, and I'm not that up to speed on the differences because I'm less of a cook and I'm more of just a strategy person. But
okay.
Yeah. One thing I like to do with sprays is I am not afraid to spray it directly on my food and then put the seasoning on it. It helps kind of make the seasoning stick a little bit. So that's a good thing to try. All righty. Later, Scotty. Thanks for coming, dude. All right, y'all. I'm going to close the room. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Thank you.